This movie is a steaming pile of post-apocalyptic, a rub-induced hangover, horse crap. Oh my God. I cannot remember the last time I have been so bored, so angry, and so insulted by any movie. Wait, you know what? I lied. I take that back. I can remember the last time I had these feelings towards a movie. It was when I saw Tree of Life. But you know what? Even that is better than this. The number of things that are wrong with this movie are just so incredibly annoying and ungodly and unforgiving. And it's even more annoying because there are some things in this movie that are actually so really good that I want so hard, so much to give this movie the benefit of the doubt, and I just can't. Why? Why? The story of this wretched excuse of a movie follows the aftermath of a misunderstanding. See, back in the 80s, NASA launched a probe into outer space which contained pieces of our culture, such as newsreels, episodes of sitcoms, and footage of classic arcade video games like Pac-Man, Centipede, and Asteroid. 30-something years later, the aliens land on Earth, mistaking our probe for a declaration of war, and are now sending down pixelated energy creatures, taking the form of classic video game characters, in an effort to challenge Earth into a kind of live-action death battle revolving around old-fashioned video games. That should be an awesome movie! That is such an incredibly amazing, cool, original, different, fun, nostalgic idea! That is something that I should love! I should absolutely love this! But I can't because of him. And them. Yep, the guy who produced and starred in a couple of universally disdained movies is now responsible for providing the biggest insult to nostalgic gamers ever. There are many, many problems with this film, but for the sake of keeping this a semi-short review, I'm just going to focus on the main problems. Also, I'm going to break my own golden rule here and just spoil an awful lot, because honestly, this movie does not deserve to not be spoiled. Now, the biggest problem this movie has nothing to do with its misuse of classic game characters, has nothing to do with the action scenes, the special effects, and it has nothing to do with the idea. It has everything to do with its execution of said idea. This movie gives the impression that it's sending a love letter to everyone who has ever played these classic video games and loves these classic video games and loves video games in general. But unfortunately, all it does is insult them. The main thing that plagues this movie is the god-awful script. It feels like they shot the first draft of the script and didn't bother to give it any kind of polish. The rules, the stakes, and mechanics constantly change with no rhyme or reason. Character arcs are never established until the last 10 minutes of the movie, and it is just not funny. And it's supposed to be a comedy. And then of course there's the cast. Adam Sandler is a guy who has made some genuinely good movies, but for every good movie he makes 4 awful movies. It also doesn't help that Adam Sandler's acting style is just boring to watch. And then you have Adam Sandler's best friend, played by Kevin James, who in this film is the president. I'm sorry, I can't finish that sentence. Yeah, buying Kevin James as the president is about as hard to swallow as buying Denise Richards as a nuclear physicist. Next in line is Josh Gad, who has mistaken speaking as loudly and as annoying as possible for funny. His character is so obnoxiously annoying that half the time you wish he would just turn into Olaf. At least then he would actually be funny. But the biggest, meanest, most insulting part of the entire film is the way it handles its female characters. Michelle Monaghan's only purpose in this movie is to become the love interest for Adam Sandler, and yeah. But actually, that's not the worst part of it. No. The worst part, and this is major spoiler territory, so heads up, one of the many go-nowhere plot threads in this movie is that when the humans win a game, they're rewarded with a trophy. in the form of a good reincarnation of a game character. About halfway through the movie, one of the trophies turns out to be Qbert. And he's actually the only likable character in the entire movie. But guess what? They find a way to mess that up. Another one of the many go-nowhere plot threads is that Josh Gad's character has had a long-time crush on a female video game heroine who actually isn't a real gaming character. She was just made up for the movie. Now this, I kid you not, is exactly how this scene plays out. Josh Gad is fighting some pixel monsters. One of the pixel monsters turns out to be the video game character that he has had the longest crush on. The pixel monster starts trying to kill him. The guy talks about how much he loves her. Then the pixel monster decides to switch sides for no real apparent reason. And then the good guys win the day, and all the pixel monsters are sent back to the mothership, including the female game character that he has had the crush on. But then, out of nowhere, Qbert magically transforms into that gaming character and then non-verbally pledges her allegiance to him. Yeah. This movie ends with the only likable character in the entire movie suddenly transforming himself into the female character that the guys had the crush on so that she can serve as a literal woman trophy. That is so insulting on so many levels, and to so many people, it's just unbearable. Everything else about this movie is either boring or just anger-inducing. The script is badly written, the characters are dull, uninteresting, and unlikable, and there aren't any real stakes in this movie. I mean, yes, the main stakes are save the world, but that can only get you so far if there aren't any personal stakes within those stakes to make you more emotionally invested. I mean, WALL-E doesn't keep you interested because you want to see the world get saved. It keeps you interested because you care about this little robot you've come to know and love. The world will do fine by itself. We don't care about the whole world. We care about WALL-E. Okay, now, I know what you're all thinking. Is there anything positive about this movie? Well, actually, yes. There are two things that are positive about this movie. One, it actually has a really good line about nerds that I genuinely do appreciate. And the line is, nerds are great kissers because we appreciate it more. And the second thing that is positive about this movie is that it underperformed at the box office. Yeah. It lost first place at the box office to Ant-Man. Good feelings all around. So, needless to say, this movie is highly, highly, highly unrecommended. Do not see this movie. Do not let anyone you care about see this movie. And if someone you do care about has seen this movie, then you are morally obligated to make it up to them. Try buying them a $50 gift card for GameStop. That'll be a start. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Norman. Thank you for watching.